Hi, John Hand with the Pulsing Cinema, and today's movie is Xtro. It's completely insane. The director admits to just being basically high all the time. He was writing the film. He was basically getting high, and that's what it. He was stoned, and he just came out of this insane stoned idea. And that's really what it is. The film looks like a pot. So you get high, you get doped up, and you watch Alien and some other shit, some other alien abduction films, and you watch Ridley Scott's Alien, and you just shit out this crazy, insane movie that is just like, where the hell did it come from? The weirdest ideas, but I don't know. There's something about it that's charming. I remember I rented this movie, and I was watching it, and my grandmother from Vermont was there, and the opening scenes unfolded, and my grandmother was like horrified. My grandmother was like, "Oh, your mother lets you rent movies like this?" I mean, it was just like, it's ridiculous. But then Granny liked to rent Chippendales movies, so Granny was into some stuff, but that's beside the point. Maybe that's getting that's a little TMI. But in any case, Xtro is about a dude who's abducted by aliens, and then like 3 or 4 years later he comes back, but he's like this alien dog big thing, or maybe it's not him, maybe, I don't know. This alien dog thing comes back, and the alien dog thing rapes a woman, and the woman gives birth to the guy who had been abducted by aliens. So now this dude is back. He's been birthed by this woman in like 2 hours, and he has magical powers where he can transform, and he can move things around, and he goes back and he reconnects with his estranged wife and his estranged son, and the estranged son, he gives the son some powers, and the son can make things levitate, and can make a little tiny midget clown appear, and all this type of stuff. But the alien dad dude is like sucking the life from him, and he's killing things, and then making eggs, and then he takes the son, and then they go on a spaceship, and then the mother is there at the end of the film, and there's a room full of eggs, and the egg explodes, and she there's a bunch of alternate endings for this film. They're all as shitty as the next, and then the film ends. I don't know. I don't think you could really come up with a big rational synopsis for this film. You've got little kids with telekinetic powers. You've got some alien shit, some actually semi-inventive special effects here, some really shitty special effects, and probably the best special effect is Miriam Diabo, the Bond girl, who has a nice nude scene in the film, which is one to enjoy. So the film, a good film, and it's a British horror film as well. It was like one of those late 80s, early 90s British horror films where the Brits were getting, hard. This is post-Hammer, and you know, they're trying things. They're experimenting with sexuality and violence and just overall weird shit. And so even though the film was financed by New Line, and this was New Line Cinema, they were kind of transitioning from just being a distributor of like Texas Chainsaw re-releases, Pink Flamingos, and then they were, you know, transitioning into what they would become, the powerhouse of, you know, action, sci-fi, horror. You know, this is a few years before Nightmare on Elm Street. And so they were in that kind of middle ground where they were just experimenting and financing, you know, weird as fuck shit from John Waters and this film, which is just completely insane. There have been like how many sequels from this? There have been like two sequels so far, like two or three sequels that are just like totally, you know, unrelated to the original and completely wild. There's a great interview with the director that was from the Xtro DVD. It's probably on the internet in a billion places. Harry Bromfield Davenport, I guess is his name. But a wild film, a great film, a crazy film that if you haven't watched, why have you not watched it? Xtro.